Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Lambo channel, and I got a couple fun stories to share with you in this video, and I'll be starting with this one, which comes from the Daily Huddle, titled, Ripple Executive Says Payments Firm Making Strategic Adjustments to Boost XRP Adoption Explains Why Company is Critical of Bitcoin, and they're speaking of none other than Ripple CTO and co-creator of the XRP ledger, David Schwartz. And so there was a back and forth all up on the Twitters, and it was civil. There seemed to be some sort of misunderstanding or or disagreement, certainly at least in the beginning, but it was never of a personal nature. It was nice just to see that there were a couple people that were behaving like adults, having a back and forth, because sometimes people take ideas that are different than their own. Like when something that they believe is challenged, it's like the fangs come out, you're personally attacking me, and I'm just like, no, the idea is being challenged. The idea. It has nothing to do with you. This happened to me just the other day up on the Twitter. So I was like, no, I'm just challenging your idea because it doesn't make sense. It's like, chill out. It's just the nature of humans. I get it. People feel like they're getting attacked. So anyway, I'm just saying it was nice. It was kind of refreshing to see that there was a back and forth with some information that I find valuable. Just understanding the way that David Schwartz is approaching things from an analytical perspective. It's enlightening. It really is. Because you might think on the surface he's kind of talking out of both sides of his mouth when he says, you don't want to tear projects down, but then he's critical of Bitcoin. I don't think that he's talking out of both sides of his mouth. It's just there might be a perception from some people, but you'll see what I'm talking about throughout this video. And how about this fun headline? Where is it? Yes, here we go. Finally. JP Morgan coin, yes. From Decrypt. Large tech client uses JP Morgan's JPM coin for the first time. Yes. The XRP Killer. Oh my gosh, what am I gonna do? Should I sell all of my XRP? Somebody help me. Before we go any further, if you would please ever so delicately tap the like button, I would definitely appreciate the support. It will simply tell the YouTube machine to perhaps promote this particular Moon Lambo content to other individuals if you do so. Which I'd appreciate. And also go ahead and treat yourself, girl, by subscribing to the Moon Lambo channel, which, fun fact, is the Moon Lamboist channel on all of the YouTubes. All right. So into this first piece now from the Daily Huddle. Ripple Chief Technology Officer David Schwartz says the company is making strategic adjustments in an effort to bring the benefits of XRP technology to a wider swath of the population. A Twitter user recently grilled Schwartz, one of the original architects of the XRP ledger, about Ripple being aligned with big corporations rather than the common man. And I think that's a little bit too fantastic a description for me as far as grilling Schwartz. No. And here, I actually pulled up the thread. I'm just going to run through the actual thread. It's not that long anyway. And you can tell me if you think that Schwartz got grilled. I don't think so. I think it was a fine back and forth. And this actually stems back to a tweet that originated September 22nd from Ripple's official Twitter account. Here you can see they are with their 974,500 followers, which is a redonkulous, but fantastic. And it was a link to this piece that David Schwartz wrote, actually, titled The Environmental Impact, Cryptocurrency Mining vs. Consensus. And I don't really plan to run through this. I just had it pulled up for the sake of it. But it was essentially about the differences in terms of solving the double spend problem. Because there are different consensus mechanisms for Bitcoin and XRP. Of course, Bitcoin utilizes proof of work, aka mining, and then the XRP ledger reaches consensus in a different way. It's really more so just about agreeing on an order of transactions. It's much more simplistic. Does not require mining. It does not require all of the energy that comes along with it, and so on and so forth. So they were talking about XRP and environmental sustainability. That was a big part of what was written about here. And so, again, that was from September 22nd, but just the other day, somebody named Max Entropy jumped in, out of nowhere, and wrote the following. Green energy ledgers are conveniently compatible with Ripple/Stellar/Hashgraph network, but Ripple is working with the corporates who were recently fined billions for criminal behavior. So Bitcoin needs energy to function outside the corporates' small price. So it seems to think that, the properties that come along with Bitcoin as a result of mining superior to XRP, which is obviously a little bit nicer to the environment here. And is it the word, like, he used the word convenient, though. It's convenient that the green energy ledgers are compatible with Ripple/Stellar/Hashgraph. Well, it happens to be the case, and so I wouldn't have worded it like that, but I know what he's getting at. It happens to be the case that Ripple's building on top of the XRP ledger, which happens to be good for the environment. That's what it actually is. So the way that he framed it, I would take small issue with, because I don't think that that's precise enough, but I get where he's coming from. David Schwartz actually did respond to this, though, and he wrote the following. One has nothing to do with the other. Ripple could work with anyone or nobody, and the XRP ledger would run just the same using the same amount of energy. Exactly, which is somewhat similar to what I was just citing there, as in, clearly there was no connection there. It's just like Ripple happens to be building on top of the XRP ledger all this other stuff about companies getting fined billions, criminal behavior. What a flimsy comparison that, to be honest with you, I don't see connecting, and I do literally mean that. I'm not just trying to read this and deny something like I've read this. It does not make sense to me. It does not compute. Max Entropy then responded, not my point. We both know that identity will be a requirement for RippleNet, and green compliance will be required for UN Agenda 2030. So it would make sense to outlaw networks that are not green compliant. It is unfortunate that Ripple is aligned with these corporates. And so I'll share with you, to me, that's a silly perspective. Because even if 1 or 2 or 3 nations actually got banned, like say they rallied together, even if they were big nations like where I live in the United States, say they rallied together and banned Bitcoin, for example. Well, do you not think that there are other countries around the planet that would be like, oh, praise the Jesus, it's like Christmas today. So all the transactions, holy hell, like all the economic activity that could have been developed around Bitcoin now, which is the biggest blockchain on the planet at this point. Now you don't think other countries are going to be like, ding, 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 we just won the lottery, and then just adopt it for... See, that's why it's never going to work. Like, these bannings are never going to work. You're never going to squash it. You're just going to shift where economic output goes. And so that's not actually what's happening. As far as what they wrote here, as far as... what he wrote here, we both know that identity will be a requirement for Ripple. Well, yeah, you're talking about AML and KYC requirements, so anti-money laundering, and then know your customer, like all from the legislative perspective, everything that was already in place before Ripple even existed, it's still in place, and Ripple's abiding by that. So it's the way he's wording it. It's as if he has some fundamental problem with the fact that Ripple is abiding by the rule of law, and that fundamentally makes no sense to me. And then David Schwartz wrote the following. We are not aligned with anyone who wants to outlaw any blockchains or private financial solutions. Quite the reverse. We believe that Ripple, the XRP ledger, and other blockchain projects need to be part of a robust and healthy ecosystem to succeed. Couldn't agree more. David Schwartz nailing it on the head here. Bigger pie, and then XRP would just get its piece, right? To me, that makes all the sense in the world. That's why I'm always going to be against the idea of being a maximalist of any coin. I don't care if you're an XRP maximalist or a Bitcoin maximalist. I think you're going down the wrong path if you firmly believe that it's one coin to rule them all. Could not disagree with you more. Respectfully, I would disagree, but I think you're wrong if you go that route. Then Max Entropy responded further. The challenge for RippleX XRPL Foundation is to enable the common man to avoid getting shafted by this system. I see little progress in this regard. The Swift SDK is exceedingly limited. There are more than 200 open issues in GitHub for Ripple. And I will just say that I absolutely could not disagree more fervently. What I see in the real world is that a blend of RippleNet and XRP is actually helping some of the poorest people on the planet send remittances from wherever they are back to their home countries. That's what I see right now. If that's not, what's the word? Did he say little? Where's the word? The little guy or something? I just read it. Well, whatever it is, you get the cut of my jib there. That is a positive. That's a net positive for the world. And then David Schwartz responded with the following. We're mostly working from the other direction, getting enterprises and institutions to use, and then parentheses he writes, indirectly, usually, systems that are open to everyone and can't be controlled by anyone. That will add more value to those open systems, driving more people to them. But this has yielded results more slowly than we had hoped. Hence, these strategic adjustments with the things like Spring and Ripple X. which are the same thing now. Spring was rebranded to RippleX. And he writes, we are trying to do more. And there was, I think there was something that may not be in the thread that I had pulled up. Let me check here. I could be mistaken. Maybe I'm thinking of something else. Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, I think so. Because here's the part about Bitcoin here. Schwartz also maintains Ripple doesn't want to align themselves with any entity or institution pushing for bans on certain blockchains or private financial solutions. Rather, he says, they favor a robust and healthy blockchain ecosystem. I'm sorry, maybe that is the part. I must have been thinking of this. We all love Bitcoin. There we go. We go after it only for two reasons. One is to fairly level set comparisons with XRP features and technology, and the other is where there's regulatory favoritism. So I think that's the piece that was not in the thread, unless I just had a stroke or something. I don't think that was something I just covered, right? No. Yeah, it was not. Okay. So that's the piece that I was thinking of that was missing. Sorry, it's just the way these Twitter threads splinter off, it's hard to capture everything. It really is. And it usually results in a crazy amount of tabs being open. So I map this stuff out earlier in the day, typically, take a break, come back later, record everything, and I usually remember things sufficiently, but even so, it doesn't matter, even if I do it right away, the way things splinter off on Twitter, it can just get redonkulous, to be perfectly honest. Now, with this piece, I'm going to be a little bit brief on this because I do want to make another video in the next day or two, probably, kind of tackling this topic of the Ripple, XRP killer, as people like to frame it, which is pure silliness. Now, for people that are really just want to understand why a bank coin or central bank digital currencies, if they just want to understand, whether or not they're actually a threat or not to what Ripple is doing in positioning XRP as a bridge currency, hey, 2 thumbs up to that. I really appreciate people that are just trying to get to the truth of any matter. I just don't like it when the trolls are using this as some sort of bogus narrative. But I do have some stuff I'm going to want to share in a future video. Even so, since this is in the news right here today, I feel like I'd be remiss if I didn't at least kind of mention this, but I'm going to have a thorough teardown of why this is not something to be scared of in a future video. I just don't want this one to go too long anyway. But again, this one is titled, Large Tech Client Uses JP Morgan's JPM Coin for the First Time. JP Morgan is using its digital currency JPM Coin for the first time commercially this week. It is being used by a large technology client to send payments globally, according to, I'm going to butcher this name. Oh, yeah. This is going to be bad. Let's see how this goes. Takis Georgiakopoulos. Oh, nailed it, actually. I'm pretty sure I rocked that one. Rocked it like a mofo. Anyway, so that's the firm's global head of wholesale payments. The large technology client was not named, although more clients are reportedly being onboarded. These developments have given the international bank confidence that the future lies in blockchain technology. To that end, the firm has launched Onyx, an umbrella organization for the international giant's blockchain and digital currency initiatives. With over 100 employees, it's described by Jamie Dimon, chairman and CEO of the bank, as being at the forefront of a major shift in the financial services industry. Dimon added that this reflects JP Morgan's commitment to innovation as we continue to build cutting-edge technology that delivers a better, faster, and more inclusive financial system. So in a nutshell, that's what it is in the news here, and I'll go more in depth, but suffice it to say, this is not a global solution for the train wreck that is the world of cross-border payments. In order to solve that, if you want to solve the global thing, because look, this is a walled garden. If you want to solve the global problem, you need a technologically sufficiently advanced cryptocurrency that is decentralized and has an open market price. That is not what this is, and so I'll have to again go through that in greater detail in another video. There's actually a lot to talk about. Even if you've heard me talk about that in the past, there's actually a lot of interesting points that I would like to bring up. And I will do it sooner than later, I promise that. But that is it for this video. I am not a financial advisor. Do not buy or sell anything because of anything that I say or write. That would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the moon, Lambo!